I owe the idea for this story to an old Chippewa man and the legend he told me in the parking lot of Black Bear Casino near the shores of Lake Superior. In the process of adapting the folktale to the present day, I've taken a few artistic liberties. The trickster is replaced with the con artist, and the rites and ceremonies of the Chippewa have been substituted for the myths and rituals of modern video game culture. He pulled into Heron feeling like he was on his last life. He hadn't been sleeping. At night, he lay awake reminiscing. The far west side arcades, the private clubs up in Skokie, the sacred Miss Pac-Man machine at JoJo's Pizzeria, the rivalry between Lincolnwood and Harlem Irving Mall, the fighting style of a legendary East Coast Tekken master. The memories held him captive, like Princess Zelda, imprisoned in the North Tower. Only at dawn did sleep finally release him from Ganon's grip. One of his heroes growing up was the controversial Tetris master Mikhail Lertov. He had a bootleg VHS of Mikhail playing in the 1989 Tetris International in Leningrad. Before a competition, it was his ritual to watch the tape. Lertov was the first to employ the technique now known as half-fielding, where a player will allow the blocks to build dangerously close to the top in order to score points faster. At age 12, he sent Mikhail a letter asking him for tips. Lertov's response was brief. Play pentominoes for make practice puzzle solving, and make pinball for better reflex. Also sleep minimum 8 hours for a day. He followed Lertov's career until his unprecedented forfeit to Nawaz Aziz mid-competition. Following the match, Lertov withdrew from the world of competitive Tetris. He appeared several years later at a Quake 2 tournament and then disappeared. He wakes in his old apartment. The phone is ringing. It's the kid calling for advice on the fight tomorrow. No, it's not. He's in the same motel. The front desk tells him his credit card's been rejected. Hanging up, he's left with the hum of the nearby freeway. Like an asteroid on a vector monitor, he drifts across the country. Like an adolescent who comes to know that they'll never get the high score in Space Invader, he realized he would never get to inscribe his initials on the leaderboard of history. All those years perfecting combos, practicing special moves, enhancing his coordination for what? He was condemned to be a minor character. One of those mini-bosses, the kind that returns as a regular enemy later in the game. If only he could hit the reset button. Rather than wallow in mediocrity, he quit the game. He started working odd jobs and avoided competition. Yet thoughts of his wasted youth lay heavy on his mind, like a game over, with no continues. night he left the city, he pored over his video game collection. There was no time to sell it on eBay. Staring at the games for the last time, he wondered who designed the box covers. These artists, like an anonymous bard of antiquity, shaped the myths of his childhood. The hero frozen in the heat of battle, the psychedelic alien monster, all spoke directly to his desires. The cover of Bad Dudes vs. Dragon Ninjas contains a whole story in itself. How could the actual game possibly fulfill the promise of its packaging?
カナダ・モントリオールから本日スペシャルのナイトをお届けいたしました。私、ニュースキャスター、ジャコユキエと
脇田レミと
Who is your fiercest rival?
My fiercest rival. I mean, all the greater players are in Japan. There's not really anyone here to play. That's why the Crenshaw brothers are so high up on the...
He hates to admit it, but Penny Baker is right. With the decline of the American arcade, the standards of coin-operated video game competition deteriorated. When he heard that his lifelong nemesis, the only man to defeat him in Rampage, Bill Hurricane Kick Corrigan, was defeated by Hinarobo Mikami, he wept for the first time since he beat Ninja Gaiden. The last remnants of his shattered community, the former patrons of a forgotten arcade, gathered for a weekly card game in the basement of Mickey Greenberg's mother's house.
A friend of mine, Mike, he plays like every video game ever, but that game, like, he's only played that game for like, only that game for 6 months basically. And he's nasty. He literally, once he was playing with someone else, right, he turned away from the screen just to like play it backwards, right? And he plays it, the whole song perfectly, not looking at the TV. Right, then the next song, just to show off, he plays some of the buttons with his teeth.
Yeah, no, I think
that's just not right. Yeah, it was hilarious.
There's Martin Power Up Brancusi, who for 2 years straight went undefeated in Super Smash Bros. Mickey Greenberg, the renowned speedrunner. Myth had it he once completed the Ocarina of Time in less than 2 hours unassisted. Booster Calzone, a virtuoso of the Golden Age arcade games. He once attempted to break the decades-old record in Asteroids. Booster played for 38 hours straight before his machine malfunctioned, ending his record run. And Dragon Punch Jones, former F-Zero world champion. He was one of those kids who'd achieved such an acute, limited excellence at the age of 15 that everything afterwards tasted like an anticlimax.
You ever play EverQuest?
I don't play. It's Hold'em, right?
And I don't play online. If you know anything about EverQuest, there's a little meter which listed how much time literally you spent in game, just in game. And when I finally quit, like I checked it, you could like type \time and it'd tell you how much. No, I'm out.
Next try.
And I had over a year and a half in game. That means like while playing. Like when you went to bed, it didn't count anymore. So literally, I had a year of my life awake playing.
In retrospect, how do you feel about having over 1/20th of your life?
No, he's still in
a video
game.
It's 100.
I mean, you have to think of it as more than that. It'd be almost like a 10th at this point, because sleeping is a third. Work is a good portion as well.
Nick, are you?
No, I'm out.
Pink Faulty.
That's not good. And the funny thing is the year and a half I spent on EverQuest was only like 2.5 years of my life. literally
pretty much nothing but sleep and play.
14 hours a
Fucking
day I
bitch.
played
I'm gonna get
EverQuest,
fucking
usually.
Seriously, edge down on that one.
Sometimes I'd cut
What are we at
class.
now?
220 more for you to call.
I have to fall.
God, I'm glad I got out of that game.
I don't know if I'm just playing like a pussy or if I just fucking suck right now.
I'm
Even?
I'd say it's probably a little bit of both.
Yeah?
Check.
not playing.
Every one of them had capitulated with the enemy, surrendered before the war was over, and were rewarded a peaceful despair. They had exchanged the agony of hope for the relief of total abnegation.
Did he just? Yeah, yeah.
It's like, it's just like you had to keep going. There's one level after another, you know what I mean? When you got to like 49, you're like, I can get 50,
Yeah.
just one more level and then I'll quit.
What would it take to get you playing?
For how much? Wait, let's finish this thing.
That was a mistake on my.
I played for $20 immediately, like right now. But I think that I might play for more if I got a little warmed up. Let's play for $1,000.
What do you guys
But it's not
think?
going to be friendly. And that's going to be unfortunate. But I mean, $1,000 is
What are you
$1,000.
even talking about?
What, yeah, what,
I mean, I feel confident in my ability to win
what game are you
in
playing?
this game. Super Mario Kart NES.
Would you tell me what character you use?
It would depend on character you used.
And there it stops.
I would probably try and wait for you to select, but if you selected, odds are it's going to be either.
I think that you guys would have
What if I
to make
selected
your
Bowser?
selections in the
If you went to
dark.
Bowser, I would go to Toad in a second.
Are there
and it would be
optimal-
over. It would be over for
Are
you.
there optimal character selections?
Oh yes,
in
if you
Mario
play
Kart?
Bowser in battle mode, you're done. You have no chance of winning. You have
Oh, really?
0% chance of
You
winning.
guys don't-
He sits in a room of doubles, hollowed men, warped mirrors of his own abortive dreams. Together they make up the dead circuit inside an old, dusty, glitch-ridden cartridge game. Many years later, as he sipped an Arizona iced tea, he'd recall that afternoon at Mickey Greenberg's mum's house, when he'd first thought of the idea. It had been forged over the years in the dark recesses of his unconscious, and that night it emerged, as if already fully formed.
Let's go! 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right now, here we come. Now over here.
Did you guys have fun?
Hi, Angels.
Did you have a good day? Here you go, Douglas. Same time next week.
Okay, see you.
Say goodbye.
You gotta squeeze it. Most people, when they pull the trigger, they like shake the whole gun. So they're not hitting what they want to. You gotta just squeeze it really slowly. Try it. You want to keep your wrist firm and steady. Kind of lock up your whole arm. And if I want to move to the left, I'm going to hold this controller in place. And I'm just going to twist my hips a little bit to the left. And there it goes. It's better than doing this because you have more control. You're feeling it from your center, from the center of your body. press like 100 different buttons. It was about being able to press these 1 or 2 buttons at the perfect moment.
Alright.
If it's not that situation, you want to use these because you can move them faster. See, like if I want to throw a fireball with this one, it's like I gotta move my thumb all the way down, all the way over like that. Here, I'm just like that. You see?
Yeah.
There's no way I could be as fast with this as I could with this. See, it's just like fireball there, fireball.
So you say he's just kicking all 15 levels out like it ain't shit.
Like it ain't shit.
And getting to the last 5 bosses like it's nothing?
No, nothing can even touch him. He's like invincible. I'm serious. Yeah, I know.
I hate that, man.
Yeah.
Kids.
I need to make this game impossible. I need to make it almost impossible to get to the last boss, and then I need to make the last boss impossible. I want it to be the hardest thing he's ever done in his entire life. I'm just doing it to make him better. He doesn't understand. He's got to learn humility, and there's nothing that's ever been able to teach it to him.
You're right, there's nothing like that. There's nothing in life that could teach somebody but a failure.
I want this game to read his mind.
I think I got some tricks for him. I don't usually share, my greatest tricks.
First, they'd need to defeat Penny Baker at his own game.
One more thing, we don't want no Nintendo fanboys around here. Just
But
back
Penny
off.
Baker was just a stepping stone on the superhighway straight to Tokyo.